Thank you all for joining us tonight. It is a special day when we can gather outside of a Zoom meeting, right? And it is also a special day when nobody has to say, you're muted, turn on your camera, we can't see you, we can't hear you, can you see my screen, can you see my document, all that. It is a great day. And this reminds me, quite frankly, that our teachers, the foundation of our district and every district, our teachers have done an exceptional job during this pandemic. Exceptional job. And I was visiting with a reporter on CBS 11 yesterday, and I shared with that reporter that we collectively in education did our part to mitigate the spread of COVID by following protocols. They're not easy, and they're not all popular protocols, I understand. But we followed them. You as teachers and principals, you implemented them, and you made sure that we mitigated the spread of COVID in our community. And quite frankly, on top of everything else that our teachers have done, you've saved lives. So with that, a round of applause for our teachers. And I reminded the reporter that we were at a point of 30% positivity in our community. 30% positivity. It's kind of hard to believe and hard to fathom. And the work that was done in classrooms, on top of all that, to teach with concurrent instruction. That's a nice way of saying teach the ones in class and teach the ones at home, right? And by the way, that's ending May 25th. Right. I've said it a lot of times and never been able to say it in person, so I'm glad I've been able to say it in person. That's ending. But we have to remember why we did that, and that is to protect our students, to serve our students. And you never lost sight of that. And I sincerely appreciate it. I appreciate it on behalf of our entire district, the young people, the countless parents that we will never all be able to engage with, that were able to work through COVID because of what we did in the public school system in Arlington in particular. We live in a great community, from our Arlington Fire Department that stood up vaccinations to the work that's done every single day in your classrooms. So, on behalf of our entire district, our wonderful school board, thank you. Thank you for the love you have for our students. Thank you for the love you have for each other. And congratulations, because you're all winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cavazos. One very special sponsor, they're sitting right in front of me, Purdue, Brandon Fielder, Collins, and Mott. Thank you very much. You guys have made our grand prize possible for all of our award winners for many years. It's been an amazing partnership, and we're so thankful for you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Ben, for being on the board. You guys are really great, and we appreciate our relationship with you so much. She probably doesn't know I'm going to say something about her, so Becky Giroux, last year you came and said to me you wanted to help out, and what you were able to do last year for our teachers was make sure that we were able to give out the same amount of cash awards that we would normally do. We had to do it a little bit differently, but we were still able to do that through the generosity of Becky and Say So. So thank you so much for your help last year. I know that all the teachers, if some of you are in the room, were nominees last year and got a check. She's the lady you need to thank, so thank you so much. And then I'd like to thank one other awesome partner that we have this year, Sewell Automotive Companies. Thank you so much for sponsoring the summer use of one Infiniti and one Lexus for one of our winners, and two of our grand prize winners are also going to get to have summer use of a Lexus and one of an Infiniti. And we're so thankful for our partnership with Dennis and Roxanne. Thank you guys for being here tonight. So we won't have them. We won't have all the big raffle prizes that we normally do, but we'll have the big one. So thank you guys for being here. And I would like to say, last but not least, Arlington Today magazine. Special shout out to Judy Pay. She's just really special to me. She's special to the community. Having Arlington Today magazine as a resource for our community is significant, and I'm just very thankful for her, and I'm thankful for her vision in that regard as well. So thank you to Arlington Today. She couldn't be here tonight. I'd like all of my members of the board to stand up, please. Aware Foundation board members. This is my team. I wouldn't want to go into battle with anybody else. You guys are great. Everybody's been fantastic through these last 2 years, and it's really special to be president during this time. So thank you very much. The last group of people I'd like to thank is our observers. So if you observe this year, will you please stand? So for all of the observers, thank you from the bottom of my heart. We don't have this happen if you guys don't do the work that you're doing. I know it was interesting this year. I know it was weird last year. Most of you have been with us for a very long time. So I'm so thankful for your efforts, and look forward to having you back next year as well. So with that being said, now we get to the even more special part, which I was alluding to earlier. So we're going to hear from the 2019 Aware Award winners. So I want them to speak about, they know to speak about their experience as a winner and what it looks like for them. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce our winner in pre-K through first grade, Heather Bush, to come up and speak, please.
Well, who would have thought that the group of winners from 2019 would end up holding the Aware title for this long? I mean, we've made history as the first people to be winners for 2 years straight, right? Yet, on the flip side of that, we've had 2 years to worry about this moment. I remember us all gathered that night when we won, taking pictures with Spence together. Several of us were already talking about how nervous we would be making a speech at the next year's banquet. So that's been a little thought floating in my mind for 2 years now. For a while, I thought maybe, just maybe, we got out of it. Yet here I am now. Even though they are making me speak in front of all of you right now, I would like to take the first few moments to thank the Aware Foundation and the board for all their hard work and dedication to this incredible organization. Each and every judge was so very kind and made me feel at ease during the observation process. I left the final interview feeling as though I had a new set of community members in my corner. I was on cloud 9 and felt so appreciated and celebrated at the banquet. I even got to drive around a Lexus for some time, which is the reason why I now have a car with heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Both are things I didn't know I needed until Aware brought that to my attention. My husband might not be as thankful for that part of the prize. Speaking of my husband, I cannot thank him enough for his constant love and belief in me. He is always ready to support me or help me in any way possible. Even when I tell him 3 days before the beginning of a new school year that I've decided I want a faux fireplace in my classroom library, he makes all my dreams, including that fireplace, come true. And I cannot imagine life without him. He is here with me tonight, and I hope he realizes that I could not ask for a better partner. Yes, I love that. I also cannot leave here tonight without thanking my parents. I was raised by an accountant and a financial advisor that never once asked me to change my dream of becoming a teacher. They have been there for me from the very beginning when I was teaching my stuffed animals and dolls from the chalkboard in my playroom. I also have to thank my incredible teacher family at JV Little and beyond, especially my wild card crew. Every teacher needs to find their people, and I am so very lucky that I have. I have a group that pushes each other, holds each other accountable, and most importantly, loves each other big. Another perk to winning the Aware Award is that big check. Thanks to the Aware Foundation, my husband and our daughter Caitlin got to take a trip to San Francisco. We toured all the normal sites, including the Fisherman's Wharf, the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, and my favorite, the Muir Woods. You'd also better believe that the three of us busted out the Full House theme song while we were there. You know, the one that starts out with, "Whatever happened to predictability?" Well, that line right there pretty much sums up this past year, don't you think? Nothing should be surprising anymore, and honestly, every single educator here tonight deserves recognition because it has been a doozy of a time since last March. At this point, the people here that know me are probably expecting me to fill the rest of this speech with Disney quotes or song lyrics. But no worries, that's not what I'm gonna do. However, during our stay-at-home order, I found a new love for the musical Hamilton. So you're gonna get those lyrics instead. If you're not a Hamilton fan, I'll go ahead and apologize for the random singing, which totally makes me nervous that I'm doing this, in the rest of this speech. My husband and I met in high school choir. Shout out to Tony Worley, those of you that know her. Woo-hoo. So I dedicate the singing part to her, except if it's bad, it's not dedicated to her. I've just come to realize that many of the lyrics in Hamilton can be applied so well to this school year. So here is my attempt at explaining the last year and few months with a little Lin-Manuel Miranda twist. Let's begin in March 2020, when the world turned upside down. Woo! If y'all know it, sing with me, please. We as educators were thrown a curveball that we didn't even know existed. Global pandemic is not something they covered in college. We told our students goodbye at spring break and had no idea they would never set foot in our room as a classroom family again. I, along with so many of my colleagues, struggled deeply with that fact, and if I'm honest, I still don't have complete closure from last year. We tried to make the best of it. We discovered Zoom. Our class had Zoom scavenger hunts, show and tell, guest speakers, you name it, we tried it. If we couldn't be in the room where it happens, we were going to make it the Zoom where it happens. We finished out that crazy year thinking August is going to be so much better. Well, August came and we all became 100% virtual teachers. At this point, I was starting my 16th year in the district, and most of those years were spent teaching first grade, and that's what I currently teach. I thought I should be totally fine, but quickly I was feeling like I got a lot of brains and no polish. I knew first grade curriculum backwards and forwards, but trying to teach it online made me feel like a first-year teacher all over again. We all bought the ring lights, we dressed up, we brought props in, we practiced screen sharing with our families so that we didn't look like complete, yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So we didn't look like complete goobers in front of our students. And we pretended like we had our life together in front of the camera when there were piles and piles of stuff in our classrooms behind the screen. Zooms were very different than they had been in the spring. Now, instead of just trying to check in on everyone and continue already taught concepts, we were trying to teach new concepts across the screen to 6-year-olds. By the end of each Zoom, I was simply looking for a mind at work. I'll never forget the first day of school this year. I started my Zoom and it went better than I expected. I loaded it onto Seesaw thinking, look at me, I just did that. Only later did I realize that I had recorded the entire Zoom session, which included me talking to myself, pumping myself up, wondering why are kids signed on 10 minutes before out loud, and using the screen to check my hair and teeth. I posted that for parents to see. So after that, I reminded myself, talk less, smile more. So fast forward a few more weeks. Now we are entering hybrid teaching. Awesome. Wow. Do you have a clue what happens now? No. No, we don't. Yet, educators buckled up and we got to work. We moved furniture around so many times to see what worked. We put away our pillows and our flexible seating options. We bought super cute face masks from Etsy that we totally overpaid for, only to realize that the ones from Old Navy were more our jam. And we begged anyone and everyone to grab us as much Lysol as they could find. The first week of hybrid teaching wasn't as bad as I anticipated either. It was just so wonderful to be in a classroom with students again. It felt a little more normal. Then another week almost passed without any problems. Almost. I was really starting to get the hang of it, and I was gearing up to meet the second half of my face-to-face students, when my current face-to-face students and I had to go and be extra and become the very first class at school to be quarantined. That meant my new face-to-face students would be coming to school the next week without me, with a variety of substitutes, while I would be teaching from my dining room at home. Helpless, down for the count, and I'm drowning in them. Our classroom wasn't even open the first day when that all went down because it was scheduled for a deep clean. So my new face-to-face students were in our old computer lab with my coach, Jenna Thrift, who's over there, on the floor all day as I tried to teach from my dining room table with what few resources my team could bring to me and leave on my porch the day before. Well, eventually most of us found our way back to school with a few students staying virtual. We had no less than 82 ways of doing things until we finally found somewhat of a groove. But we somehow made it through, and here we are now. This year hasn't been perfect, not even close. We rise and we fall and we break and we make lots of mistakes. I wasn't sure how it would all work out this year, but in no time, my students and I quickly became another classroom family that loves each other so big. I know I will always look back on this class and be thankful for the way they put up with me and carried me through this time. They are the reason I keep pushing through. They are my why. I cannot tell you enough how proud I am of each and every one of those incredible kids. They never complain. They help me find joy in every single day. Those kids who show up every day, whether in person or on a screen, they will remember us. They will remember their teachers this year. Years from now, when they tell their kids about this crazy, uncharted time, our names will be spoken. History has its eyes on you. These kids might not remember what we've taught this year, and they probably won't remember the incredible seesaw or canvas assignments that took us hours to make and took them about 10 minutes to complete. But at a dinner table, in the future, their teacher's name will be mentioned because that teacher made a difference in a historical year. We have a little less than a month of school to go now. The month of May is always filled with end-of-the-year stresses, but I want us all to stop and think about what May looked for us last year. We were so desperate for this time right now and to spend that time with our class. Our hearts were aching for closure. We didn't get to say goodbye the way we wanted to. But this year, we get that. We have this time that we were robbed of last May. So, even in these last super stressful days when your patience may be running so thin, remember, we are gifted these last moments with our students this year. Look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now. I also want you to think about this August, and how this school year started. Think back to all that we have accomplished as a community this year. It may not have been pretty at times, but we're almost on the other side of arguably the hardest school year any of us have ever lived through, and hopefully will ever live through. Look at where you are. Look at where you started. Some of you here tonight will walk away aware winners, and some of you won't. But hear me when I say this. Tonight, Any educator here should leave with their head held high and proud of all that they have accomplished this year. And remember, you're not finished yet. You still have so many children to teach and so many minds to mold. You still have so many lives to affect. There's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait.
Hi everybody, I'm Emmanuel. I go by EJ. I am not going to sing because I'm terrible. Not even my 3-year-old thinks I'm good. Thinking back to 2 years ago, myself and the other nominees walked across the stage as our names were called. As I was walking back, nervous and anxious to our table, I got a tap on the shoulder and heard, "Hey coach." I turned to see a 6'2", or now 6'2" teenager towering over me. It was Kale, a student I had 6 years ago in the 6th grade as a TA at Butler. We embraced and had a quick chat. As I walked back, my nerves were gone. Kale helped me realize 2 things in that moment. 1, I love teaching elementary because 95% of those students are shorter than me. Not tall. And 2, no matter the outcome, I'm already succeeding at my job, and so is everybody here tonight. We got in this profession for the kids. We got in so we can hopefully impact each individual student in a positive and meaningful way. And sometimes we are lucky enough to have these moments when they are out of our classroom, even years later, where a student is excited to see us and reminds us what we are doing is working. I want to thank the Aware Foundation for going out and recognizing great educators every year and putting this event on to make some of the great teachers in AISD feel appreciated for the hard work they put in every year. I also want to thank the judges who, during my time, made me feel very comfortable and appreciated with the kind letters. And I also want to thank the sponsors who show their support to the educators of AISD by making contributions to the Aware Foundation and provide many of the prizes. Well, I was going to say in the raffle, but that's not tonight. And along with the cool perks that the winners get to do. They do a lot for us. I do want to take a moment to thank those who made it possible for me to receive the award 2 years ago. Our accomplishments are truly not our own, and they are built by those close to us. Thank you to the Butler parents and community for nominating me. Thank you to the PTA president at the time, Liz Bankhead, for writing my nomination letter. Thank you to Stacy Humbles, don't know where you're at, and Jennifer Bohannon, my 2 principals and vice principals, for believing in me and not hiring me once, but twice. Once as a TA, fresh out of college, and then 2 years later again to come back to Butler as a head PE teacher. Both of you have provided a pristine example of what it means to be a leader. Thank you to my Butler colleagues, 2 who are here tonight, my fine arts team, and my assistant, Joe McDonald, Coach Mack, who has become a great friend in the years. I also want to thank all the coaches, teachers, bosses, friends that have helped me along the way become who I am today. Thank you to my parents, because growing up as a military kid and moving every 3 years, you don't have much consistency. You don't know what the next state, country, school, coaches, teachers have in store for you. So I want to thank my parents. You provided me the consistency I could count on during every move. No matter where we moved, your love and expectations remain the same for me and my brothers. Do our best, make no excuses, do our homework before sports, and to clean my room before I get to hang out. My friends to this day still text me, "EJ, clean your room," and they live in South Carolina. And last but not least, thank you for the best things that have ever happened to me, my wife. Somehow, she married me. You've always been my biggest supporter, and you pushed me to be a better person. Without you, I'm not up here. You provide the strong foundation to our family as a wife, mother, friend, and teacher, and I'm so thankful for you. I know I have a lot to learn, but in these short 6 years of teaching, I've learned a few things. I would like to share one of them with you. Be true to yourself. I had a teacher come up to me this last Friday, a 6th grade teacher, and tell me a story. Some background, our kids have been preparing for the 6th grade cluster track meet, and I've been leaving jump ropes out there for them to practice during recess. That teacher picked up a rope and started jumping with them. One of the students said, "I've never seen an adult do that before." She said, "Coach E's never jumped rope," to which another student replied, "Coach E is not an adult." I'm 29, I have 2 kids. I think I'm an adult, hopefully. We both had a laugh. You see, I've always been the big kid. Growing up, when everybody stopped playing sports at recess because it wasn't cool anymore, I kept playing. And now, I get to be a PE teacher. You can find me teaching, which sometimes means throwing footballs, flipping off the swing, racing students, beating them in basketball. Austin knows about that. And just having fun with them. I always thought that being a kid at heart may hinder me as an educator, but really, it has been my secret sauce that has allowed me to connect, engage, and build relationships with my students. I believe it is one of the main reasons I'm up here tonight and was nominated. So, be true to yourself. Yes, adapt, grow, develop, be detailed, analytical, and ever chasing perfection, but keep the things that make you you, you. To close, here's a quote I've been telling my students this year from the great John Wooden. "Things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out." I believe that this quote speaks directly to those who are nominated here tonight. Over a year ago, with no warning, our lives were changed, and we had to quickly adapt. Teachers this year in AISD had to transform teaching into a totally new approach that has never been done before. You were the first to do it. Given a close to impossible task to make virtual learning as equitable as in-person learning, you had to find new ways to teach, engage, interact, inspire, and motivate and love your students. Those recognized here tonight did what great teachers do. You made the most of it. Your year, as difficult as has been a true inspiration to many. Congratulations to all those nominated. Enjoy tonight, because tomorrow's educators, the work continues. Thank you. Oh no. I only had 2.
Good evening. Heather, where'd you go? Where's she at? Heather, okay, our first 2 paragraphs are almost exactly the same, but I'm not gonna sing for y'all. Y'all don't wanna hear that. So, y'all, what a 2 years that was. It feels like the Aware Banquet of 2019 was an eternity ago, yet yesterday at all the same time. I think we all feel like we've been stuck in some sort of weird time warp where time flies by but stands still all at once. For the people that are announced as our winners tonight, you will live in this moment. You'll take 1,000 pictures, you'll marvel at a check that rivals your paycheck, and maybe even win the Lexus for the summer. And then you'll return to school tomorrow, and people are gonna tell you 2 things. Congratulations! You know, you have to give a speech, right? In all honesty, and my table was kind of surprised that I said this, I really and truly have looked forward to this night for 2 years. I actually like public speaking, which is kind of weird, but there's a special person that I want to thank as well. So I'll get to that in just a moment, but first, a few other thank yous are in order. So you mentioned I'm Ginny George now. I want to thank my husband, Davis George. He's been my support. He's at home. He couldn't come tonight. He's taking care of our 2 little kids, but so I appreciate him. I want to take a moment to thank the entire Aware Foundation for everything. While the prizes were great, the people that I had the opportunity to meet and work with throughout the entire process were just as wonderful. Thank you for the memories, your kindness and encouragement, and an opportunity that I will always remember and cherish as one of my favorite moments of my teaching career. I also want to thank all of my coworkers at Bailey Junior High who constantly push me to grow, they lift me up when I'm down, and put students first on our campus. Bailey is really a special place, and there is a reason we say we are simply the best. I am blessed each and every day to be just a small part of our school. Now to the person I really want to thank. I'm taking you guys all the way back to kindergarten, but don't worry, I'm not going to give you my whole life story, rather just a small snippet of that year that molded me and changed me forever. There's not a ton I remember about kindergarten, but I do remember a few things. I remember a kid named Sergio threw up, like everywhere, and it got in another girl's hair. I remember these like little cup things we had for our crayons and the weird smell that the bathroom had. I remember making UFOs out of 2 styrofoam bowls and a hot glue gun, which I burnt myself on. And why I had access to a hot glue gun and what standard making UFOs was aligned to is still a mystery to me. I also remember an exceptionally mean girl. We're gonna call her Lindsay, because that was her name. And I remember my amazing kindergarten teacher, Miss Pashby. On one of the first days of school, the mean girl made fun of my brand new dress. It was a dress from Kmart with Beauty and the Beast on it that my mom bought for me. It was the one new outfit I had for that school year. Things at home were less than ideal growing up, and my little mind really struggled to deal with it all. I realize now I must have been on some sort of, like I had one of those labels, because I was required to have counseling minutes each week. I once ripped the head off of a stuffed turtle during a session, but that is a story for a different day and a different time. I was angry, I was anxious, I was self-conscious, and I was attention-seeking. Teachers, that sound familiar? You know these kids, like me, that sit in your classroom every day. After being made fun of at recess, I came inside exceptionally angry. This was the first time that Miss Pashby got to me, and it stuck with me not only that year, but throughout my childhood and beyond. Miss Pashby recognized that I was smart, and actually a pretty sweet kid underneath all the baggage that I brought with me to school. She sat me down that day and time again after that to remind me of my worth, my intelligence, and my control to make something of myself someday. She didn't see me as some poor little girl that was angry and didn't know how to handle herself. She saw the potential I held within me, and she gave me the motivation and the skills to turn aggression into grit and determination. Her words never left me. Fast forward a few years, I graduated salutatorian of my high school. I received a card in the mail from, you guessed it, Miss Pashby. Miss Pashby, I still have several things she gave to me, including that card. I also have a book that I now read with my own children and several letters and gifts she sent me along the way. She was truly and literally a godsend for me, and I can't imagine what school might have been like without her faith and her belief in me. God knew I needed Miss Pashby, and my interactions with my students today are still influenced by her interactions with me 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. I tell you this story because any teacher will tell you that the last year has been extremely difficult, and I think we've all questioned why we do this at some point. My bet is that when I described myself as a kid, every teacher in this room had names of students pop up in their head. Pandemic or no pandemic, they are still sitting in our classrooms, and they need someone to be their Miss Pashby. Never underestimate the power of your everyday words and the conversations you have that have the impact on your students. Teaching is a hard career, but what a blessing and a gift to have the potential to truly impact the course of someone else's life for the better. It's 100% worth every bit of it. Over these last 15 days of school, not that I'm counting, I hope that you can remember the importance of what you do for others and enjoy the last little bit of the ride of this crazy school year. And just so you know, my original plan at the Aware Banquet happened last year was to invite Miss Pashby to the Aware Banquet, but obviously COVID changed all of that. I will say we've been able to reconnect through all of this, which has been wonderful. And I'm sending her a copy of this speech tonight so that she can see it. Thank you to the Aware Foundation for the opportunity to formally thank her and recognize her for all that she did to me, or for me. 2 years ago, I sat where 4 finalists sit tonight, anxiously awaiting the previous junior high speaker to wrap up what they had to say, which they had the order a little different if you've been to Aware before. So it's time to pass the torch on to someone new. Congratulations to all of our finalists tonight, and thank you to each and every one of you for your time. Good night.
Good evening, everyone. First off, this is such an amazing opportunity. Just taking this in, this is such an awesome thing. Amazing job to those individuals who've already spoken. I'll try my best not to repeat what they've said because you guys did an awesome job. That's the reason why I left my notes in my chair, because it was like, dang. I got to go last. One thing I do want to say is thank you so much to the Aware Foundation, to the Board of Trustees, and everyone who's involved in this process. It is such an honor to be nominated and then experience what you experience as a aware person, someone who they come to your classroom and they tell you all the amazing things that you're doing that you second guess yourself and you wonder if you're making an impact. So for everyone who's involved in that process, I would like to say thank you so much for that. Of course, because everybody else has done it and I wasn't planning to, I want to thank my wife. I know, I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. But seriously, I am standing up here because of her. She taught me things about teaching that I didn't understand. She's a elementary school teacher, gifted teacher. And so all of my practice comes from her. I steal and beg and borrow just like every other teacher, but from that woman. So she deserves the award. Speaking of the award, I spent some of it on her. I kind of had to. So before I leave the stage, I want to ask you a question. Are you aware of what's happening right now? And I hate to take to a different mood, but I really want you to think about that. We're talking about this being an aware banquet. Are you aware? Are you fully aware of what's happening in this moment right now? You could think about the tent, maybe the weather, and forgive me if I get my preacher towel on, because my dad's a preacher. If you hear something, say amen to me. I'm not going to do it. You can think about the weather, you can think about the tent, you can think about the dinner, but are you aware of what you've done in this season? That's what I mean by that. Are you aware? I've heard time and time over the last couple of minutes, people talk about all the challenges of teaching and things of that sort. But sometimes when we're in the middle of something, it's hard for us to see, really be aware of what's going on around us. Are you aware of the impact that you've had on others? Are you aware of how you've changed? I truly believe that challenges give you an opportunity to grow. I tell my athletes that all the time. Challenges give you an opportunity to grow. So, how have you grown in this season? I want you to answer that question for yourself right now. Yes, it's been challenging over the last year. Yes, 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 and yes. But what are you doing with that challenge? Are you using it to make excuses? Are you using it to feel sorry for yourself? Or are you using it to grow? Second thing, are you aware of? Are you aware of the breath that you're given is not a promise? I've heard people say, I got this taken from me last year, and this happened, and this happened. Who guaranteed that that was supposed to be for you? So I don't mean it sarcastically. I don't mean it in a facetious way. I don't mean it to point a finger. I mean it as in be thankful for every breath that you're given. I have asthma, and it sucks to not be able to breathe. I'm telling you, when it's it is a horrible thing, but I recognize that every breath that I'm given is an opportunity. And I ask you the same question. Are you aware of every opportunity that you're given? Because with every breath that you're given an opportunity. Thank you so much, Aware Foundation, for this moment. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak with you. As you are getting your names announced and come across the stage, embrace it. Embrace it. And I'll leave you with this. One of my friends used a quote from John Wooden, and I would like to tell you that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. Thank you so much for your time.
I do want to take a moment. Many of the teachers in the room brought their significant others who walked alongside them through this journey. Let's give all of them a big round of applause tonight as well. Yeah. So this is one of the most fun evenings I get to have all year because we get to celebrate heroes that are making a real difference in the lives of children, which is priceless. So I first of all want to kick things off and announce the nominees for pre-K to first grade. All right, here we go. Anna Camarillo, Webb Elementary. Tamra Crater, Miller. What's that? Oh, yes, and if you're here, if you'd please stand when I call your name. Be great. Thanks, Cord. Ginny Citizen Papillon Cookin, Kathy Kresser Wimbish, Jennifer Kinter Jones, Carlos Matos Martinez Jones, Debbie Modewell Mary Moore, Yadira Pedroza Jones, Viola Ruiz Corey, Katia Cito Jones, Tanya Smith Jones, Angela Spencer Rourke, Melissa Torres Rios Thornton, Ryan Van Cleve Moore, Julie Varnell Jones, and Leslie Wiedhaus Hill Elementary. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now it's my pleasure to announce the nominees 2nd through 4th grade. Diana Barboza Short, Carmi Beal Ditto, Barbara Bryant Amos Elementary, my alma mater, Sarah Buxa Spear, Ana De La Rosa Jones, Danielle Ferguson Corey, Juan Frausto Corey, Michelle Hill West, Janet Martin Bebency, Antonice Robertson Johns, Edna Rodriguez Rourke, Denise Sepulveda Jones, Jasmine Williams Goodman, and Trudy Williams Jones Elementary. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right, now we have our nominees 5th grade through 6th grade. Matt Bostick Duff Elementary, Stacy Crawford Ditto, Kawania Crutcher Davis Jones, Emily Demore Blanton, Irma Febo Corey, Lindsay Lloyd Jones, Aaron Miller Key, Kimberly Pacos Jones, Jean Parsons Morden, Julia Piercy Webb, Philippe Rosales Corey, Todd Russell Jones, Katie Shaw Hill, and Brandy Tepsick Bryant. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right, our nominees for junior high, Sarah Griner Bowles, and Tamara Hawthorne Carter. Our nominees for high school, Lou Harding Newcomer Center, Nancy Rushing Arlington High School, and Alexander Villanueva Martin. And now here's our finalists for pre-K through 1st grade. Elizabeth Cortez Cookin, Amanda Gonzalez Hill, Nicole Jerkins Ditto, Roxana Sutherland Butler. Our finalists 2nd through 4th grade, Kelly DeLay Butler, Michael Martin Miller, Anna Pinson Ditto, and Diane White Jones Elementary. Finalists 5th grade through 6th grade, Cassandra Alvarez Farrell, Lisa Beal Miller, Christina Casterlin South Davis, Anna Perez Webb, and Tara York Mary Moore. Our finalists junior high, Kristen Harmon Bailey, Kayla Long, Young. Rachel Nielsen, Shackelford. And Chris Wyatt, Young. Our finalists in high school, Caitlin Jacobson, Lamar. Teresa Menard, Seguin. Emily Miller, Arlington High School. And Doris Moorhead, Bowie. Let's give all of our finalists a round of applause. Well, just being here tonight, I know it sounds trite, but all of you have made an impact in so many children's lives. And I need you to remember that whether you are named a runner-up, a finalist, or just validated as an all-around fantastic teacher, know that you are loved and cared for, and you are who the Aware Foundation argues about how do we best serve every year, because we love the work that all of you do. So let's give the award members that work side by side with me a big round of applause. I appreciate the dedication that all of you have. All right. So the Aware Foundation is pleased to announce the runner-up for the 2021 Aware Award of Excellence in Pre-K through First Grade category, Nicole Jerkins, first grade, Dildo Elementary. Ms. Jerkins believes that teaching is a calling to help the world become a better place. She uses her passion to teach her first graders not only the academic skills they need to be successful students, but focuses on growing the foundation of kindness in each child. She wants all of her students to see that they are valuable and beautiful human beings who have gifts to share with the world. One parent noted, "We knew that Ms. Jerkins was special from the moment that she called to introduce herself before the school year started. It was a delight to have her, quote, visit virtually our home during classroom Zooms. She is patient, encouraging, and enthusiastic, and sees the best in each child." Ms. Jerkins gave each of her students a special nickname, and those nicknames are related to a positive character trait, such as kind-hearted, loyal, and caring. We have seen our daughter internalize that nickname and strive to be more kind-hearted in her interactions with her family and her friends. Congratulations, Ms. Jerkins, and thank you for inspiring your students to see the best in themselves and others. Let's give Ms. Jerkins a round of applause. All right, the winner of the 2021 Aware Foundation Award of Excellence for Pre-K through First Grade is Roxana Sutherland, Kindergarten, Butler Elementary. Teaching is in Miss Sutherland's blood. As a fourth-generation teacher, she has observed firsthand that good teachers are essential in the lives of students. In addition to teaching language arts, math, and science with skill, she also ensures that patience, love, and kindness are at the core of her curriculum. She believes that all children need consistency delivered with love and reassurance to ensure their success and happiness, and makes it a priority that every child feels the warm embrace of her classroom and is welcome there. She wants every child to love school and experience success at exactly where they are in the learning process. In her response to being nominated, Ms. Sutherland offered a quote from L.R. Nost. "It is not our job to toughen our children up to face a cruel and heartless world. It's our job to raise children who will make the world a little less cruel and heartless." It is wonderful to recognize a teacher who puts love, kindness, and learning at the heart of her teaching. Congratulations, Miss Sutherland. The 2021 Aware Award of Excellence runner-up at the second to fourth grade category is Mrs. Anna Pinson, third grade, Ditto Elementary. Mrs. Pinson believes that every one of her students will have an impact on the future. In her response to being nominated, she reflected on the power of being a teacher, noting, "Teaching allows us to impact our future through loving, supporting, guiding, encouraging, and educating our students." Obviously, Mrs. Pinson is one of those teachers that not only encourages her teachers each day, but according to a parent of one of her students, she goes above and beyond in every single class. She dresses up like George Washington, creates rap videos, and really engages with the students. She really cares about her students and takes pride in her teaching. Because of Mrs. Pinson, my child has a new love for science and social studies that will last him a lifetime. AISD is lucky to have her. Congratulations, Mrs. Pinson, and thank you for going above and beyond for your students. Without a doubt, you are making an impact for the future. Congratulations again. Thanks. The 2021 winner of the Aware Foundation Award of Excellence for the 2nd to 4th grade category is Mrs. Kelly DeLay, 2nd grade, Butler Elementary. Providing learning opportunities and personally connecting with each of her students is at the heart of teaching for Mrs. DeLay. She is a gardener of children who plants seeds of empowerment in each of her students. She encourages student-led instruction that inspires each student to think creatively through collaborative interactions with one another. Her goal is to build connections and a sense of family in her class as she recognizes the value and security it brings for each student. The practice of ensuring that every children belongs is reflected in a note from her nominator. Mrs. DeLay is just one of those teachers who considers every child in the school building to be one of her students. She shows a true passion for teaching and helping all students succeed, whether they are in her class or not. And staying with the gardener theme, her principal also noted, there are many great teachers out there. Mrs. DeLay's ability to grow little people while also growing the adults around her make her one very special educator. She is a maximizer with a servant's heart who will use all the tools she has to reach students and others in her field. Well done, Mrs. DeLay. Thank you for growing a garden of bright young students who care for one another, feel valued, and love learning. Congratulations, Mrs. DeLay. Who's having fun? This is great. Oh, yeah. I love recognizing teachers. This is fantastic. The 2021 Aware Award of Excellence runner-up at the 5th through 6th grade level is Miss Tara York, 6th grade, Moore Elementary School. Recalling the impact of her own teachers and teaching mentors, Miss York credits the many before her for influencing her own teaching and educational philosophy. She recalled a former mentor encouraging her to set grand expectations for every child she teaches, a practice she continues to follow as she recognizes that by setting the bar high for all students, my students work harder to achieve their goals. At the heart of her practice, Miss York exemplifies the belief that you have to love what you do and who you serve. Everything she does as a teacher is reflective of her love of teaching and passion for her students. Her students know that their classroom is a haven where each is valued, loved, and supported. Her principal noted, Tara not only builds strong relationships with her own students, but volunteers to mentor other students on the campus who are in need of a positive adult influence. She is super creative and creates an incredibly engaging classroom experience for our kiddos. Her energy is infectious. Ambitious standards combined with a passion for teaching and love of children is the winning recipe for success as a teacher. Well done and congratulations, Miss York. The 2021 winner of the Aware Foundation Award of Excellence for the 5th through 6th grade category, Miss Christina Casterlin, 6th grade, South Davis Elementary School. Engagement is Miss Casterlin's passion. She makes it clear that she wants to connect learning to creativity while instilling in her students a love for learning. She relies on a great deal of movement and hands-on activities to create a fun classroom. During this pandemic, she embraced virtual teaching and used her wacky sayings to keep students engaged and having fun while learning. A colleague noted, Ms. Casterlin is an outstanding teacher of 23 years. She brings an unmatched expertise to the field, always looking for new and innovative ways to help students succeed, and is so generous with her knowledge, sharing ideas and new resources with the rest of the staff. She is always up to date on the newest, most engaging technology and applications to use with students and to support their learning. As an advocate for both students and teachers, Ms. Casterlin exemplifies the excellence every parent and student hopes to see in their teacher. Thank you for your 23 years of service and the excellence you bring to the classroom every day. Congratulations, Ms. Christina Casterlin. The 2021 Aware Award of Excellence runner-up for the junior high category is Miss Rachel Nielsen, 8th grade mathematics and advanced algebra, Shackleford Junior High School. Ms. Nielsen finds it easy to bring a positive attitude and elevated expectations to her classroom. She loves teaching her students and believes in their incredible abilities. She knows that hard work and learning from mistakes can lead to new discoveries and achievement. Her goal is to build a relationship and connect with every student she teaches. Her classroom is described as a safe, positive space for each student to grow and learn, and where she enthusiastically encourages each to do his or her absolute best. According to Ms. Nielsen, I make every effort to create an environment that supports students when they make mistakes in their learning. A growth mindset is the key to my classroom. A favorite poster says it best, and I like this: math, M-A-T-H, mistakes allow thinking to happen. Providing a safe space for students to learn from their mistakes and excel in creativity and learning indeed makes her an outstanding example of excellence in teaching. Thank you, Ms. Nielsen, for being that teacher who offers her students the grace to be themselves, learn from their errors, and soar in their success. Congratulations. The 2021 winner of the Aware Foundation Award of Excellence for the junior high category is Miss Kristen Harmon, 7th grade, Bailey Junior High School. Ms. Fairbairn, also known as Bear, a retired 7th grade teacher in Lake Travis, Texas, inspired this year's junior high category winner, Ms. Harmon, to be an incredible teacher. It is a legacy modeled by her teacher that Ms. Harmon intends to continue with her own 7th graders at Bailey Junior High School. When describing the impact of Bear and the impact I was on her teaching, she explained, as a teacher, I hope that students remember when Texas gained independence and who won the Battle of the Alamo. More importantly, when students look back on the 7th grade, I hope they're filled with the same feeling I have when I think about being in Bear's class. While academic success is obviously a goal of each teacher, I also pray that I never lose sight of what is important, that each child sitting in my room is looking to me for guidance, love, leadership, and maybe a little bit of laughter. What a wonderful tribute. There's no doubt that there will be outstanding teachers because of Ms. Harmon's teaching today, thus extending Bear's legacy for future generations. Congratulations, Ms. Harmon. We know that Bear is proud. Congratulations. Yes. right, the 2021 Aware Award of Excellence runner-up for the high school category is Mrs. Teresa Menard, 10th through 12th grade, Seguin High School. Teresa Menard is an exceptional teacher, according to her principal, Ray Borden. Every year, her classes are full, and the students want to take that class with the teacher that has the red hair. Mrs. Menard teaches child development, a class that prepares her students not only to be better individuals, but also to be better future parents. According to Mrs. Menard, no job is more important than the job of parenting. And she wants her students to be prepared for that critical role. She recognizes that many students today may not have the opportunity to experience strong parenting models in their own homes. Thus, she wants to ensure that each parent, and each student rather, is prepared educationally, emotionally, physically, and socially to provide positive, loving, safe, and supportive environments for their own children. Her principal commented that Mrs. Menard's enthusiasm and positive outlook are contagious and encouraging to others. Seguin would not be Seguin without her. Congratulations, Mrs. Menard, not only on, yes. Congratulations on not only positively preparing your students to be loving, educated, and supporting parents, but also changing the lives of their children through your amazing work. That is the way to impact generations for the future. Well done, Mrs. Teresa Menard. Congratulations. The 2021 winner of the Aware Foundation Award of Excellence for the high school category is Miss Doris Moorhead, 12th grade, James Bowie High School. A veteran teacher of 27 years, Ms. Moorhead has perfected the art and science of teaching. With a caring smile, she ensures that every student in her class experiences the mental, emotional, and social support she weaves into the culture of her class. She's taught English, I always mix up the pronouncing, synchronously? Synchronously. I practiced this like for hours before this. Oh, yeah. She's taught English synchronously and asynchronously during this pandemic while also supporting students who struggle academically, like I was just then. According to Ms. Moorhead, when I reach the hearts and help them to navigate through their outside influences that affect their academics, I stand a greater chance of helping them invest in themselves more fully and allowing them to flourish academically. So profound. She recognizes that all students need to feel safe, heard, and accepted for who and where they are when they enter her classroom. And to make learning even more meaningful for each student, she encourages them to use their personal life experiences in learning activities. For her, teaching is more than textbooks and standardized tests. It is the perfect avenue to foster originality and creativity that breeds critical thinkers and future leaders. Indeed it is. Congratulations, Ms. Moreland, on making lasting, meaningful, and making learning meaningful and fun, and for investing in each of your students. The love and mutual respect you model in your classroom will guide your students for years to come. Congratulations, Ms. Doris Moorhead. Yes. And let's give our runners-up and winners one more big round of applause. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Derrick. That was awesome. Congratulations, you guys. Awesome. I'd like to this time to call up our partners from Sewell Automotive Companies, Dennis Dessette from Sewell Lexus, and Roxanne Morrison from Sewell Infiniti. So Roxanne is going to draw a name out of here, and that's going to be the award winner that is going to be driving a Infiniti for the summer. Kristen Harmon. So Dennis, if you will do the honors, and you'll draw the summer use of a Lexus for one of our winners. Roxana Sutherland. I just want to take one last minute to say thank you to everybody for being here. When you think about it, it's really amazing to see all the work that we have done in AISD every day. I'm so thankful for all of our teachers, all of our nominees. I'm thankful for our board of trustees and our superintendent. And I'm thankful for your families. And I think that was the neatest part about all the speeches, is everybody recognizing their families are their backbone. Your friends are your backbone, and it's really awesome. So thank you guys for all being here. I wanted to say thank you one last time to our sponsors, Purdue, Brandon, and Fielder, Becky Giroux, Say So, and Sewell Automotive Groups. I know we couldn't have done this night without all of you guys, so thank you so much. Have a good night. Get home safe.